Welcome back to Society Case Files. My name is Robert, and today I'll be building the Kastelan robots and the Cybernetica Data Smith, their little companion Mechanicus character. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Without further ado, I want to talk about this build a little bit and the difficulty involved. The Data Smith character is by far much more difficult than the robots, just because all of those parts are very tiny. We're getting down into parts that are smaller than my fingernail, then it tends to get a little tough, and they're very fragile, not to mention the fact that their contact points are a pinhead in some cases. So when you go with that character, make sure to just take your time and really plan out how you're doing it. You'll see that I dry fit everything and really make sure I like where it's going to go, and then apply the glue, put it on, and so forth. Once you actually get to the point that you're assembling the body of that character, there's a lot of other contact points to keep in mind. Tubes that go from the helmet to whatever, the weapon, the hand, etc. And you got to keep those things in mind as well. Now, this might seem like a pain, but it also acts as a bit of a guide for you to know that you're putting it on correctly, knowing that when those tubes connect up to where they're supposed to, that you've actually done it right. And as long as you dry fit, you'll figure that out pretty well. All around, I'd put him at the harder part of the whole set, and his difficulty will reflect that. As far as the Kastelan robots are concerned, they are really pretty straightforward. The hardest part for me was getting the feet right so that when they ended up on the base, they were in the right position. It's not as hard as it sounds. You'll see how it works in the video. Beyond a slight variation in the way that the legs fit together, the bodies themselves are pretty much mirror images. Yeah, you can pick a different gun, but it's the same process. So that's why I only really filmed one of the two robots being built completely, because otherwise it was totally redundant. Ultimately, because of the size of the parts, they're very easy to fit together, and it's very obvious which part goes to where. So I don't think you're going to have any trouble with the robots once you get the legs done and put them onto the bases. All around, this was a pretty fun project, and I'm very glad to have them. They look awesome, and they were super fun, especially in the Hammer and Bolter episode where they wander around and cause trouble with orcs. But anyway, I'll be back at the end. Enjoy the rest of the video. we go, the finished product. These guys were super fun, like I said before. All around, very reasonable to put together. Most of the Mechanicus guys do have all those little spindly parts, so if you've built one, then you're kind of accustomed to it, and it probably won't bother you too much. But if this is your first time going at a Mechanicus, then this is one of the more challenging ones I've done. I've put together quite a few now, and this one I think had some of the more intricate connection points for the tubes. I have another one that's going to be a lot harder, and when I post that video, I'm sure I'll talk about it a lot more. But as far as difficulty and enjoyment, I'd say that the Kastelan robots are both reasonably difficult to be a challenge, but a lot of fun at the same time. And they're going to be great to see painted up and ready to go. Do you play the Mechanicus? Have you built any? What is your experience with this kind of thing? And is there a model you'd like to see built? Let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Otherwise, this is Robert from Society Case Files signing off.